I want to bring up something that is a different piece that we're going to talk about, which I know some of you guys probably weren't expecting. It's an additional question. Kevin Owens. Let's talk about it. What do you guys think of his return? Does he come back as a babyface or a heel? Because I feel like the product misses him. I've never been so interested in seeing someone cut a promo video on their cell phone and then watch the man bowl a gutter ball. I was like, no, stay with Kevin Owens bowling. Don't go back to Monday Night Raw, please. I would rather watch him bowl right now. Let's start with Kevin first on this one.
I'm a big Kevin Owens fan. Not going to lie. I can't. I've missed him so much. I think he'll come back. I think they're gonna do something different with him. I think he's gonna come back as a good guy that lent the bowling video, the family man sort of thing. And I think that's a good thing because I think especially if he comes back to Raw. I mean, I know it's up in the air right now, but I think Raw needs another babyface right now, like another top tier good guy. I think besides Finn and Seth, they're hurting right now with that. They have more. I think the heel face dynamic is sort of skewed in one direction. I think he'd be really, really good. And no matter what he does, no matter how he comes back, there's a good guy, bad guy, somewhere in the middle, whatever. I think he's going to bolster the division in a much needed way.
Kevin, I absolutely enjoy that. Let me just read. Town Nation said, Owens, I can't wait to see him back. Owens/bowling was brilliant. He's the missing piece, from Raw, I think. Babyface or heel, he'll help keep me interested and intrigued to see how he's booked, though. Let's now go to Luke. Let's see what he's got here for this.
Yeah, so I'm missing Kevin Owens as well. I'm in exactly the same boat as you, and I think he'll come back to a huge ovation. So putting him as a heel would be a big mistake. I think you want to ride that ovation and use that sort of momentum whenever he comes back into his next steps. And so bringing him in as a face would sort of help that definitely and help his momentum. And I think he could be like the bit on Raw which breaks up the seriousness every week and have a little bit of fun, a little bit of comedy with Kevin Owens. We know he's got that in them. Even when he is a heel, he's hilarious and one of the funniest parts of Monday Night Raw. And right now, Monday Night Raw, I'm struggling to watch it every week because it's 3 hours of the same sort of stuff, and we need a Kevin Owens to break that up. We need someone to come in and either make fun of himself or cut a funny promo and make fun of someone else. And Kevin Owens is the perfect guy to do that. Who I'd like to see him go up against is hard because if he comes back really soon, I think you stick him in the multi-man match that they're bound to have either SmackDown or Raw for the IC or the US belt, and you make him win that because that's a massive return. Everyone would love to see it. And then you go for like sort of prize fighter Kevin Owens again, but as a face, and just make him a bit of a badass because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I hated seeing Kevin Owens as this wimpy kid who was running away from Braun Strowman, as opposed to 2 years ago or a year ago, whenever it was, when we seen prize fighter Kevin Owens headbutting Vince McMahon and not being afraid of anyone. Like, it just didn't make no sense to me. So I want to see him come back as a badass, but as a badass face and make that work with a nice mid-card run to see how he goes before we sort of realize again that he is one of the best parts about this company and elevate him back to the main event.
Real quick, before we get to Malik's point on it, I put up a picture that you guys can all see. That's how Kevin Owens looks today. He has dropped a considerable amount of weight, and I think that was part of the problems with the knees. I'm a big guy too, so I know exactly how that is. If you're the fan in this picture, you can send me my royalty check later because you are now going to be famous. But looking at this with Kevin Owens, I really wanted to go back through and ask you two who just answered, Kevin and Luke, is Kevin Owens in need of having Sami Zayn with him still? I know that's been like the storyline that they have went with. Is it time to separate? I thought it was before this even, but they've kind of forced it each and every time. And maybe he's keeping Sami out of trouble. I don't know why they do that, or I don't know. Sami Zayn feels like the Christian. They're like Edge and Christian to me. They both are tremendous talents if used properly, but they see Kevin as the Edge, Sami Zayn as Christian. Horrible.
I keep them like really far apart. I'd even put them on different brands because I'm sick of seeing them two together. I don't know about you, Kevin, but that's just not something I want to see. I want to bring them back separately so they're not sort of linked in that way, as in, or they came back the same time, they went away the same time, they came back the same time. Keep them apart completely. Keep them on different brands, and just not even reference each other. Like keep it like that as well.
Yeah, I agree. I want them to be as far apart from one another as possible. I think they're as much fun as it was for a while to see them together. I think that a little bit. I think I was getting a little tired of seeing their shtick, and I think it'd be a nice breath of fresh air to have them separated. Yeah, different brands. I think is like cross paths. I think them being together honestly limited them a little bit and what they could do. I think as single stars, they could be so much more than what they've been, but they were before the injuries.
Good points, gentlemen. Malik, I'm sorry, we kind of took some time from you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens far apart. I don't want to see them together anymore. Have Sami Zayn go to SmackDown. Kevin Owens, to me, needs to be on Raw because, to me, it seems like ever since they lost Roman Reigns, they have no idea who they want to be their top guy. They just don't know. They don't know if they want Seth Rollins. They don't know if they want Braun Strowman. They don't know if they want Drew McIntyre. Obviously, Vince McMahon loves Brock Lesnar, but he's never there, so he can't be your top guy. Kevin Owens, I think, should come back as a babyface. I love heel Kevin Owens, but I think it'd be something new for him. Don't know who. It's hard for me to say who. Maybe he comes back. You know, I wouldn't mind a Kevin Owens Drew McIntyre feud. I think that'd be a pretty good feud for him to come back into. Maybe I don't know. There's so many people that he could work with that they're mainly baby faces, but I would like to see him come back as a heel. I desperately miss Kevin Owens, and they could use him a lot on Raw right now, definitely for ratings and better quality, better storylines. But to me, it just seems, like I said, it seems like ever since they lost Roman Reigns, they just don't know who they want to be their top guy. Because obviously Roman Reigns was their top guy, but now that he's gone, they just don't know who they want to be their top guy anymore. So with bringing Kevin Owens back, I think it just makes the product better. I'll just say that.
Good point. I like that. Fowl, let's go to you. Same question too with Sami Zayn.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to see Kevin Owens just bait and switch us. I want him to come. I kind of agree with everything about like Luke saying about him winning a major title and how everyone's saying that it would be great for him to come back as a face. Let's let him come back as a face, win that match, and then just heel turn straight away. So we've had like a few weeks of, ooh, he's so much nicer now. The Sami Zayn thing, I like seeing him with Sami Zayn, but I was getting tired of it. Like it seemed like they could. I saw them on the Edge and Christian show the other day, and they did a segment where they did a French podcast, and they were just ripping on Edge and Christian, and it did feel like Edge and Christian. And I think I totally agree with Sami Zayn being the Christian and Owens being the Edge, and maybe keep them apart a little bit, keep them on separate shows, not let them reference. Maybe they could have little in jokes every now and then, but it would be in the middle of a promo, like shout out to my boy Sami Zayn, or shout out, but keep them apart because it really hinders Sami Zayn's progression being with Owens. Because Owens, you look at both of them and then you give Owens you give him the bigger stock and star power. Ooh.
Conrad, we can't hear what you're saying, mate.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you, dude.
I apologize. I had myself on mute, so I didn't interrupt you. We are going to do one more topic that wasn't written down because I want to ask you guys about this, and then we're going to have our last official one, and then we'll say our goodbyes and everything else. So if you guys have it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're doing great with all that stuff right now. But the last topic that I want to bring up is Kurt Angle, the last topic that's just kind of free talk. Kurt Angle is rumored to have his last WrestleMania match at this time. Who do you guys think Kurt Angle should be fighting at this time with his current ability and skill? We've all seen Kurt's lost a step a little bit. He's got a lot because it was mentioned before about Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Baron Corbin. I'm sick of all those guys even being around each other. I'm so done with it. I'm tired. It's tired. It puts me to sleep when it happens on Raw. It's bad, real bad. So let's go down the line here, starting with Luke. Who do you guys want to see fight Kurt Angle at WrestleMania if he has to have a one-on-one match?
Oh, that's difficult because personally, I wouldn't even want to see it because I think Kurt Angle is struggling that much.
Hold on.
Just to watch him.
Damn, that's terrible.
Yeah, he is struggling so bad. Like he can't even move, like walk without it, like looking like it hurts. So it's uncomfortable for me to watch him have a match anyway. But to think of someone who I'd like to see him, and we've just turned Elias back heel again. So if it was with anyone, maybe a quick match with Elias and sort of put Elias over because, you know, Elias hasn't really had that rub with anyone yet. He just comes in places where he's sort of like the third wheel, like with the Cena Undertaker last year. He just never really has a feud either. So maybe having a feud with Elias where there's no matches that you can just do every week, just have the Elias and Kurt Angle segment leading up to their match at Mania. Have it a 5-minute match. Have Elias go over and thank you very much to Kurt Angle, and you know whether he stays with the WWE doing something backstage or goes down to the Performance Center with NXT, like you know whatever. It'd be nice for that to happen, but it's a tough one for me for Kurt Angle because I just feel uncomfortable watching him wrestle still.
You know what I wish, dude, just that you brought that up. I wish that people like Paige and Angle, who I thought were decent at GM, I feel like Kurt Angle could have managed a team like American Alpha. If they would be shit with some of this, it would work out so much better. And Paige, you could put her with a darker character and have Paige be the manager for that character, someone who maybe can't speak as well. I just feel like they're missing the boat on that. Malik.
I don't want to be, hypocritical here or rude, but I don't even want to see Kurt Angle wrestle anymore either, man. It's hard to watch. I mean, just if you watch how he ran to the ring through a Rumble, I was just like, oh my God, like this man is just like, he's a legend, and he's older now. Obviously, Father Time catches up with everybody. Not everybody, everybody gets old at some point. But if I had to pick one person, even though he's on SmackDown, I would love to see him fight Samoa Joe, and it's because, one, they have history together, obviously back and going in TNA. 2, they can tell a great story from that. 3, Samoa Joe is a believable guy. It's that vicious, believable heel that can put him into retirement. You know what I mean? Just like Kurt, it's your time. He would keep it real with him in the promos, like, it's your time to go. You're old. You got to get out of here. I'm going to put you into retirement, yada, yada, yada. Kurt can tell the story about, he wants to be heroic. He can still do it. He feels like in his heart he can still go. And I think, like I said, they have a great history together from TNA. They can tell a great story. I don't know how good the match will be because, Kurt's conditioned, but I think Samoa Joe would be a good fit for Kurt Angle to go out on. I think Kurt Angle would be happy with it. Him and Joe they're good friends. He respects Samoa Joe. He likes Samoa Joe, and I think it could put Samoa Joe in a better direction than they're doing with him now too as well. So
I like that. And I think Joe and Angle had those classic matches in TNA. Maybe they could work some of that magic into the motivation for it. I like that. Kevin.
Well, scenario, I don't think it actually happened because of injury, but I really think that if we're to have one more match, and I'm going to just agree with everyone in saying that I don't even want to anymore. I'm over it, to be frank. But really cool to have the Kurt Angle, Jason Jordan story culminate in one match at WrestleMania. Sort of like the quote-unquote father versus son. You put Jason Jordan over in a big way. But I don't think he's going to be cleared, if ever cleared again. So I would say, in light of that, I think Drew McIntyre would be a good candidate. He ran through Kurt months back. I think you could do something where Kurt Angle gets a lot more offense in, makes himself look better, hopefully, because he doesn't look that great right now, and then ultimately loses and puts Drew McIntyre over on the grand stage. I think that's the way I would go.
I like that. I think Drew McIntyre is another possible opponent for him. I just feel like he's not in a good spot at this moment. personally with the whole Kurt Angle thing. I don't know, man. I feel bad for the dude, and everybody in here so far has said they don't want to see him. Foul. Do you have any hope for Mr. Angle, or are you done too?
I feel like yes. I echo the sentiments of the panel itself. Like I totally don't want to see him have another match. Like because he does look like he's in pain. He looks like he's just going out there because he wants to have that one last match. But there's 2 dream matches in my mind that would be a great way maybe to like bookend his career. Whoever wrestles him next is going to be retiring him. I totally agree with that. Why don't we give him to Lesnar? Why don't we feed him to Lesnar? Why don't we let them have that WrestleMania rematch? Let them have that match for the title.
Only if Lesnar does the shooting star press. That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like it's a dream match. Yeah, like it probably wouldn't happen because Lesnar would go out and kill Kurt Angle legitimately in the ring. But I would love to see that as a dream match. I'd like to see that Samoa Joe idea. Sounds great as well to kind of put him over, but in a way, I don't think that Angle really has the same drawing power in the mainstream that he did before. So putting him against Samoa Joe and Samoa Joe beating him, it might not give him the rub that he really needs. But that would be a goddamn stellar match. And they could work around the injury. They could work around all of that. I don't want to see him have another match. But if he did on the current roster, Joe.
Oh, live chat. Oh, I'm so sorry for laughing. I have to read these real quick. Somebody, Wilfred wrote, Rousey kills off Angle. Imagine that Olympic heat. Omega Luke says he wished he said Angle versus McMahon. I'm going to have to follow up with him on that real quick. RJ says Angle versus AJ would be another one. Wilfred said Nia Jax. I don't know if Town Nation's saying Jesus Christ to Wilfred or if he's saying he should fight him. Town, you're going to need to clarify that. And Brian Walsh said put him against Cena. Wait, let Kurt Hawkins win? Oh, dear God, I'm out of there.
Yes, you win. Who said that? Town Nation, you win.
I think Cena could be another. I think Cena could be another good one too. But I would much rather have Cena do something different at WrestleMania. But I mean, I don't know. All I know is I hope WrestleMania is his last match, and I mean that with all due respect, Mr. Kurt Angle. You're a legend. You're one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time. I'd say that right now. But I mean, there comes a point, man. There comes a point when you watch a wrestler. I know wrestlers as they get older that they try to keep up as much as they can, and they still have the passion to do it. But it's just from a fan's perspective. You don't want him to get hurt anymore. You don't want him to feel pain anymore. And it's like he has nothing else to prove anymore in wrestling. He's already in Hall of Fame.
It's that high though. It's like why Undertaker and them keep doing it. Undertaker said a long time ago in interviews from like early 2000s that he
planned on retiring. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all in that same boat. They get that high from performing. It's why you see older groups.
You got to be like
Mick Jagger performing at the Super Bowl. It's the exact same thing. Like, why are those old dudes out there? They have enough money, but they get the high from it. You can't let it go.
You got to be like Stone Cold, man. When it's your time to go, you got to realize it's your time to go. You just got to step away.
Well, Stone Cold made a lot of money too, but
Kurt Angle has too, though.
Yeah, absolutely, he has.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of alimony to pay as well.
True that. But I think this with Kurt Angle, I think he does deserve to have a last match. I think he has earned to have that, right? Same with Undertaker. I really want him to have a retirement match or a
same with Vince McMahon.
Huh?
Same with Vince McMahon.
You think it's time for him to stay out of the ring?
No, he needs to have a last match. Kurt Angle, come on.
Oh wait, I've got one more. Sorry.
Luke, I wanted to get to your point. Do you have a follow-up point, or should I let Luke go?
I've got one more on top of that. And the dream matches: Kurt Angle versus Jeff Jarrett for the end of TNA for like the final match. Like all the history's built.
Dude, I definitely thought you were gonna say for Karen Jarrett, and I was gonna say
no.
She's heel turn. They both join up as a tag team and win the women's tag titles after, right? Braun
Strowman, a special guest enforcer.
If they do that match, can they come out to their TNA themes though instead of their WWE themes? Can we make that happen?
When I hear Jeff Jarrett's TNA theme, I think Triple H though. It gets bad. Kurt Hawkins, Page, and Angle. Oh, these dudes are.